Task, task, task. How to become a solutions-based thinker. Hello, everyone. Tessa here with the IdeaPros marketing team. And I am also joined by Cary, who is our CEO and fearless leader over at IdeaPros. Hi, Fred.
Hello. I'm not always fearless, but thank you.
Well, we're talking about a fun topic because you've brought this up with our team multiple times. Just staying on a solution based path as opposed to task based. So, I guess my first question really is, why is it? Why should we be solutions based as opposed to task based?
Yeah. Um, First of all, hey everybody. Um, the problem that we have, one of the problems that we have, whether, or, in fact, this is a problem that you have whether or not you have a business, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're an employee, whether you're a stay-at-home parent. We are overwhelmed with the tasks that we have to do every day. There's so many things. Even me in the morning, like after I work out, I go downstairs and there's personal things I want to do for myself. It just seems, wow, everything takes too much time, and all of a sudden I feel all backed up before I even start thinking about what I need to do for work. And so when we do these tasks, just, I don't want to use the word mindlessly, but just almost robotically, oh, I got to do this task, I got to do that task. Then all of a sudden, instead of having one or two main things we need to do, we have 47 different tasks that we have to do in a day or a week or a month, depending on how much pain we've decided to insert into our lives. But when we have all these tasks, and you showed it on the cover sheet there with all these little stick-it
Yes.
notes, just like they could be all these different diverse things that you have to do within the course. There you go. Within the course of a day, that can become overwhelming. And even more importantly than the overwhelming part of it, you can be doing a lot of stuff that is preventing you from doing the most important things that you should be doing and that you would be doing if you're looking at a solutions-based project rather than looking at things individually as task-based. You, Tessa, yesterday showed me matrix
Yes.
that is commonly used all over the world, and that I said it's a piece of shit,
Yeah.
right? But this is what everybody uses.
Yep,
And
a priority matrix with the important and urgent quadrants. So the four quadrants. And
yeah,
Fred shot it down. I'm like, what?
yeah,
But you have a revised version is what you're recommending is that you're not putting these into just important or urgent, but looking at how it ends where you're going with that, right? The solutions based part. Tell us a little bit more about what you mean when you say solutions based.
yeah. And by the way, that changes over time. That's why those matrices don't work with what I'm talking about. Because, all right, so I have a task. Let's suppose my task is to finish this certain project in a certain period of time. Is that important? Yeah. Oh, I'm kind of late in getting it done. Is it urgent? Yeah. All right. Well, under the matrix system, that's going to go right into that one box that is the most important, critical thing I need to do today.
Yeah. And I can show you guys what we're talking about on
Yeah.
the
You want to pull
screen
it up?
here. Yep. I'm going to pull it up so you guys can see.
But
Like,
don't use it.
don't use it. I know that's what Fred's trying to say here. So I have used this. In fact, I turned it into a Google Doc. And so I used to put my tasks in these quadrants. So urgent, important, these are your due first, and not urgent and important, you schedule. Not, oh, so urgent and not important, delegate. And then the last quadrant, you just give it up or don't do it. But Fred said, nope, you shouldn't even be doing that. It's still task based.
I would argue that you put everything in the bottom right corner to begin with. Don't do it, and pull things out that you need to get done. And let me show you why this matrix doesn't work. So if we had the example that I was giving about we want to get our app done and we're late in getting it done, it's important, right? We want to get our app done and it's urgent. Yep, because we're already late on it. We need to get it done. But if you're looking at it from a solutions based point of view rather than a task-based point of view, then you're going to start thinking a little differently. And by the way, solutions are fluid. They're different as you go through a process. So let's take that same example that under the matrix system is critically important that we do it. The solutions-based approach that I apparently have invented because we can't find it anywhere. I'll have to stay tuned for book number 2 after they publish the damn first one. The solutions-based would add a different thing into the equation. What am I going to do after I complete these things? I have taken a task, I've put it in the top priority, urgent, important, I got to get it done. To what purpose? Now, if I find that I want to get it done, why? Because I want to have my app out where I can start selling it. So solutions-based thinking would be, do I have the budget to sell it? Do I have the financial wherewithal? Do I have the investors? Do I have a bunch of Facebook groups that are ready to download 10,000 or more of this app? If I don't, then I'm spending time, I'm spending money, I'm spending valuable resources on something that the matrix tells me is really important, where my solutions-based thinking will tell me, I don't have the things I need. Why the hell am I finishing the development? What should I be doing? I should be out raising money. And so finishing that app goes from urgent and important down the scale a bit to a bit less important and a bit less urgent, because I don't want to spend all my money and time. Let's suppose it's going to cost me $50,000 to finish the back end of my app. And I could use that $50,000 instead to go out and raise capital, to put together a pitch deck, to go find lists of investors, to line up meetings that I can have, to go do my presentation. What do I need to do that? Well, I'm going to need a front end design work, maybe a clickable prototype. Do I have those things? Yeah, I have them. Perfect. Let's go to work on the financing. No, I don't have my clickable prototype. So instead of building out a back end for $50,000, now I can go get a clickable prototype that I can demonstrate to potential investors and maybe spend $5,000 on that or $2,000 on that, depending on how and where you get it done. And now I'm armed for what really is urgent and what really is critical, which is raising the capital I need to have a successful business. Otherwise, that matrix sends you down the wrong path every time, because it doesn't allow you to look at what you're trying to do and whether or not those things that you marked as urgent and important are going to get you there.
Well, I'm all about reducing some of the tasks on our list and being more strategic for sure, because that's what, tasks, getting just items checked off your list isn't helping you to achieve your end goal. So what we talked about is that a new version of that matrix might actually have the goal and so you're reminded each time of what is it that I need to accomplish? What is it that I'm actually trying to work towards? Especially when you have teams. So with Fred, with all of our team, we have to all be on the same page and kind of understand what we're not just doing the individual tasks that we have on our plate. We're accomplishing the goal for the whole group. So
yeah. And again, to what end? And when you're thinking on a solutions basis, that can be constantly changing, and you have to think about it as you're going through this entrepreneurial journey. You have to think about, okay, these are the main 5 things that I need to do to get from A to Z. Within that, there are a series of tasks, and everywhere along that line, as you prepare to start doing those tasks, you need to keep your mind focused on what is it I'm really trying to do. And did something happen? Did something intervene that is going to make some of the things I'm about to do that I thought were important less relevant, less important, less urgent, less of something that I should be spending any of my time on at this moment in time? For example, and by the way, with the number of partners we had become pretty task oriented, and that's why this thinking of mine has evolved into this type of solutions based thinking. Because when you have 30 partners going into a certain phase of marketing, for example, and they've gotten to the point where they should be having press releases, with every one of those, if you're not going to just mechanically do it. Oh, here's our sheet of the things that we need to do, check it off, so we can be done. No, you need to think like a partner, or you need to think like an entrepreneur if you're doing this on your own. And to what end? I don't want to issue a press release if I'm not ready to go to market. I don't want to issue a press release if I made a decision at the end, I'm going to try to license this instead of run with it myself, right? And that at the beginning, you may not have thought that way at all. But at this stage, when you're ready to launch and you think, no, I can't do this on my own, I need to try to sell my idea, then don't do these meaningless things that were important, but now are meaningless.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think that being flexible, first of all, with the lists that you create, don't feel so locked into what is on your task list that it doesn't have the flexibility to change or be removed. And I also think that agile development, I just wanted to bring it up because it was something that I thought of when we were talking about it yesterday, Fred. And that's that, as you're building these things out, you have to be adaptable to even the needs of your target audience. And things are always going to happen a little differently than you thought they were going to. That's just entrepreneurialism as a whole anyway. So, right. So we're actually talking with a lot of our partners saying, hey, you know what, this is the path. So maybe you need a pitch deck instead, and you need some guidance on how to go, talk about your app or product. So it's good to be willing to change, and I'm willing to let go of my priority matrix so that we can be more focused.
Yeah. So, another problem with those priority matrix type things is you put all your tasks in there, and then you decide what box that task goes into. When you're thinking on a solutions basis, that's why I said put every task in the don't do section and pull them out as you need them. That's the reason I said that earlier, because don't assume that every task you think you have to do has to even be done. So if you start thinking about the solution, what are the critical things that I need to do to get closer to that solution? What are the things that I'm going to end up wasting my time on, even if they're urgently important, like finishing an app? There's probably nothing more important than that. But again, if I'm thinking solutions, to what end? What am I doing? Do I have the money to do it? Or I just want to show my friends that, see, I told you I could get an app in the App Store. You want to be successful. And the only way to become successful is to focus on the finish line, which becomes your starting point. Focus on that finish line and what you need to do to get there. And the thing that is the answer to that question changes over time. So be flexible, be determined, get rid of all the fluff stuff, because another thing that happens when you're task based is you do the easiest tasks first. Just, wow, I got 14 different things I need to do. I'm going to knock these 10 out over this course of this next week. Well, at the end, you're left with 4 things that you should have done that you haven't been able to get, because if you're thinking on a solutions basis, then you would have tackled that toughest one first, because it turns out that is the one thing that's going to get you closer to where you want to go, where all the other crap that you did hasn't gotten you anywhere. You just checked off boxes, felt like you got something done, and at the end, you're still where you started because you didn't do that one thing that you really needed to do.
I also wanted to mention that we've talked about income producing activities, or IPAs. It depends on who you're talking to, but the one thing that you choose should be helping you to make money and not just spend it. So those income producing activities are good ones for it to be one of your high priorities, if it aligns with where you're going right after.
Right. Well, and when we say income producing, that could be a few years down the road. I mean, Google produced income after a decade. Uh, so it's not all around the corner. But what is it that's going to lead me towards having a business model that can go live and that can start doing the things that need to be done to get to the point where I will start making money besides making myself happy that I'm doing what I need to be doing.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you, Fred. I appreciate it. And I'm going to say hi to everyone. If you guys have any questions, let us know in the chat. I don't see too many questions over there, but I love being able to focus and not just do the tasks. One thing that I did learn in working with teams is that you always have obligations, that maybe you've committed to something, or there's an understanding that a task is on your plate. And so sometimes you have to go renegotiate. Like maybe that task isn't something that's important anymore, or even aligned with the other people that you're getting tasks done for. So partners, I know you have lots of tasks from us. If you don't understand, or if you don't think it aligns, let us know, because we don't want you to be doing tasks that aren't helping you in the end. For sure. Awesome. Well, thank you, Fred. We'll see you next week. I know we have a pitch deck specialist that's coming in on our show. Partners, obviously, you'll get to meet them on our Tuesday meeting, but we will have more great topics for you shortly.
Yeah, and again, think of your solution. Don't be afraid to change it over time, and make sure you focus on doing the hard pieces of what that is first, because those are the ones that are going to get you to where you really need to get going to.
Perfect. Well, thank you. And I'm just going to peek over in the chat. Thank you guys, Quentin, Hector, Kelly, Vanessa, Sean, Odin, all of you guys are, I see you over there on the live. Let us know if there was any ideas that you got from this. I know that Sean, I think it was Odin, I know you were saying it's very interesting. Now, Odin is one that does help help you to figure out what you're spending the time on that you shouldn't be spending time on. So I spent quite a bit of time learning from him on how to, renegotiate those obligations as well. So thank you, Odin. I appreciate that. And Mark, it's okay. You can always catch the replay. We were just talking about being able to focus our goals and do the right tasks at the right time that go towards the end result that's in be solutions based. And awesome. Thank you. Oh yeah. So Vanessa, she makes a to-do list, and then let's see, she makes a to-do list for her daily tasks whenever it's in business or in daily life things, and keeps you organized. I actually had someone tell me, I was doing a lot of research and was a specialist in in making your time worth more, to give yourself extra time, but also to be able to prioritize better. So they actually had a class on prioritizing. And one of the things that they focused on was that you write down the night before, you write down 6 things that you have to accomplish the next day. And then when you wake up, you cross off in the order, you're going to put them in the order that you think you have to get these things done. Again, solutions based. So they're focusing on the end result, but you scratch off the bottom 3 tasks, just like give up, don't do those for the day. But you've already written down 6, and those top 3 are the ones that you're going to really, really focus in and get checked off your list. And then the bottom 3, of course, you have them written down. You can always come back to them another time. But I found that really helpful, because I am the type that has a list. I mean, you guys are just like, there's like lists and lists, pages of tasks that I have on my plate. And with Fred's guidance and this prioritization model, I'm able to get a lot more accomplished. I feel better at the end of the day. Don't you feel better when you've got those big things done on your list? So awesome. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, but Stephanie, I'm glad you're here too, because I know you're doing this all the time in your business as well. And Vanessa, of course. Craig, well, thank you. I'm glad it's interesting. I hope that you get something from these Friday lives that we do always. You're welcome, Kelly. Good to have you here. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe bell to get reminders when we go live. We're here every Friday at noon Pacific time, and we bring topics for entrepreneurs. Did one session last week on video and how to create awesome videos for your business. Even if you're camera shy, we have a pitch deck person coming in to give us some ideas on how to do better pitching, create better decks, and all that fun stuff. So we'll see you guys all next week. Have a great week. Thank you so much for being here with us. Bye.